So we then come to the what-if game. We've got to make sure the local authority assessor, because assessments are done by social services. Parliament said it's their job, and they decide what we need. We don't decide, they decide. And so we need somebody to come along and assess us. And we've got to convince that person that if they don't give us what we want, we'll suffer significant harm, or the person for whom we care will suffer significant harm. So that person who comes along has got to get all the relevant data, because she or he is going to have to work out what the consequences are if services aren't provided. So the first stage of an assessment is gathering data. And we need a skilled assessor, and they've got to come and see us. Now, local authorities are, I don't know if it's happening around here, but it will, sooner or later, playing with things called self-assessment questionnaires. My clients, if they get a self-assessment questionnaire through the post, they have warnings, they must not touch it without gloves on, but if they have gloves, they can then put it in the bin. My clients are just simply not filling those out. I'm sure Shropshire isn't doing that. In Shropshire, they go into the Arga, probably. You can't do that. You cannot do that. But it's happening. The government go on and on and on about the fact that 13% of the whole social services budget, £3 billion, is spent on assessments. What a waste. Well, I don't think so. I think that I want skilled professionals coming into people's houses, sitting with them and talking about their situation. I don't want to sort of do this over the computer, thank you very much, or with tick boxes. I want skilled professionals coming in, seeing what it's like, to see somebody try and get dressed or bath themselves, or to see those situations. And I do want to spend £3 billion. And that, by the way, is a very interesting fact. I told you, £110 billion is spent every year on the NHS. If you do your maths, you can work out what's spent on social care. The NHS spends £110 billion. Social care, £13 billion. It's tiny. It's a tiny sum of money. We talk about we can't afford to pay for social care. We have all sorts of royal commissions. But in fact, social care is actually a very small sum of money. All we're looking around for to give free social care is £2 billion. To radically improve it is £4 billion. That's not even, 9 months in Iraq. It's 2 aircraft carriers. The amount of money we need in social care is actually very small. But the one thing I do want in social care is I do want skilled professionals. I don't want people that used to work in a call centre and now, have been wheeled in to do some reassessment. I want skilled, well-paid social workers to go in and sit with my clients and assess. 70% of all the information you take in is visual. You've got to be there. And it's not just visual, you've got to smell the place and hear the place and see the place. And, sorry.
My husband is in hospital at the moment, and he's broken his hip, he's 86, and he's going to be assessed by social services. But I've been told they can go and question him in the hospital without me attending, and he hasn't a clue of what he's doing at home. Can I be there? Can I get in touch with social services and be there when he's interviewed?
Well, of course you could be there, yes. Unless they've got some security guards, they're going to have problems stopping you sitting on his bed, aren't they? So, I mean, most law is just common sense, Yeah, this is silly, isn't it?
But if they did this assessment and she wasn't there, would she have a regret?
Yes, if you've got to write in and say, there's so many people are desperate to get out of hospital, they'll say that they have, 14 children.
Everything is fine.
Everything's perfect. Yeah. I have written so many letters saying, look, this person is not coming home, and it can be very difficult in that situation because, of course, as soon as they know there's a carer, they're out the door because that accelerates. They don't just sort of calm down and say, how's this going to impact on you? We'll come back to that because it's a key issue in the carer's assessment. So you've got to insist that. And he cannot be discharged until you've had a carer's assessment.
I've had one a few months back.
No, now.
Oh, now. Oh,
Yeah. Sorry.
After 12 months of trying to get social services to help me care for my father, he was eventually admitted to hospital because he collapsed.
Yeah.
Fortunately, a privately paid carer that I was paying for was there the day he collapsed. A week later, a social worker told me my father's got dementia. He was in hospital and they had been and spoken to him that he was coming home.
Yeah.
I turned around and said, no, he isn't until I get some help.
Yeah.
Because my father lives with me, I do not live with my father, and unless I get some help, he's not coming home. And they had to change their attitude. But if you need help at home, it's very distressing to sit at the bottom of the bed with somebody you love and have to say that you're not prepared to take them home when they're desperate to come home. And I'm afraid sometimes that's what you need to do.
Yeah. And then my heart is with social services, it really is. They are so short of money, it's crazy. And they're doing all sorts of naughty things, but they're doing it because they have no money. The NHS, for all its belly aching, is a well-funded service. It is putting huge pressure on social services to discharges, and the nurses are saying, oh, your daughter doesn't want you home, and there's all that because they're just trying to get, and they actually haven't got a lot of beds because they've got rid of it. But a bed is £1,000 a day in a general hospital, and people will stay in that even though social services just lack the money to do these sort of things. But you just got to just say, I've written many letters on people like yourself. We're using some precedent letters. I'm doing some work putting on the internet. But that's one I should put up. It's just saying, he is not coming home. Get it. That is not happening. And often they say, oh, but it's his home. He owns half of it. How can you exclude it from your home? And you have to write back and say, look, which bit of it don't you understand? He's not coming home. It's a huge issue because you're traumatized to that side. You need support, and you need to hear that people have done it and it's been okay. But it's largely standing up to some fairly sometimes some not very pleasant attitudes from the NHS. People are dying for this bed. And you're killing them basically. And that sort of stuff is.
If you get this service, somebody else won't.
Yes, this is right. Well, we're going to have to get thick skins, aren't we? So we're going to gather the data. So the social worker comes, they see me, they gather the data, and then they go back to their deep-piled, carpeted offices. They open a bottle of wine, they light their pipe, and she then decides what I need. And that's what it should be. It should be her or him using their professional judgment from their years of training and experience to say, what is it Fred needs? What will happen if we don't help Fred? And then they mull over it, have another glass of port or whatever, and then they write down what Fred needs. That's how it should happen. These are professionals. They're just the same as doctors or lawyers or teachers. They should make those decisions. And then, having decided that Fred needs this, that, and the other, then they have to construct a care plan, which is the other side of the equation. Fred needs looking after between 9 and 5 on weekdays. The way we're going to do that is we put in home help, or we'll go to a day centre, or we'll go paragliding, or what have you. So a care plan is just the sort of specification that meets the need.